Welcome back. Another practice routine video. This time we're going to integrate a bow for the first time, but still no shooting. So if you happen to be again in that somewhere locked in a cave somewhere in quarantine, we've got you taken care of. So stay tuned. So we're back again. I got Bo with me with the bow, and we're going to kind of continue from what we did the last few weeks, but only now with the bow in our hand. So again, the first couple weeks we were doing different routines with just a string bow. Now we want to actually integrate the holding weight, the stabilization of the bow, and we're going to be keeping an eye on a few things as you're going through the process. So Bo, we're just going to start in a standing position right now, okay? And one of the baseline scenarios we had from last week's video were those draw and uphill, internally, externally rotate. So I'm going to have Bo pick one and go ahead and draw his bow back, adjust his hips as he needs to. He's going to aim uphill or downhill and then rotate internally or externally. So in this position here, key things to be thinking about: make sure Bo's staying inside his peep, make sure his peep and his housing are still staying leveled up, and he's watching his level. Obviously, footing is going to make a huge issue here when you're in the field, but the thing that Bo's doing right now, he's going to draw and hold until something starts to fail. Once either his bubble starts to come out of level, maybe he starts to creep in or out of his peep, up or down, or the stability on his front shoulder starts to collapse, whatever it is, maybe it's his core that starts to give out. That's it, lets down, recoup. Now the one thing I'm going to encourage you to do here is try to wait 30 to 45 seconds before you draw your bow again. Make sure you get some oxygen back in those muscles, because we're really just stressing everything here to its breaking point so we really learn where we're at. If Bo knows by doing these practice routines, drawing low, internally rotating, he can hold his bow for about 15 seconds before it really starts to come out of his comfort zone, then he knows in that situation he's got about 5 to 10 seconds for that shot to really present itself before he has to let down and start over. Again, these awkward positions, they're so heavily involved in your core that if you have not practiced this before, you're going to notice your bow trembling. You're going to notice, whether it's your front shoulder starting to collapse, pain in your hips. So Bo's got a pretty good hold here, but one of the main things you need to think about here is nobody's keeping score. Nobody's trying to shame anybody out of being better at this or not. What we're really trying to do is work on our weak points. And again, by doing these awkward position shots, you may have this happen one time in multiple years, right? But we were just talking about it before the video started. The last bull he shot, he had an internally rotated shot on an internal trunk rotation. Whitetail hunting in a tree stand a lot. You might be standing in a tree and that deer starts coming and you've drawn your bow and you've watching. And if you have a really good idea and a good foundation built with these type of practice routines, you're going to be better off to be successful in the field. So again, integrate your bow. Bo's got a no fire release on right now, so he's able to work this process and not have an arrow loaded, never shoot an arrow. Obviously we want to make sure that you're still pointing everything in a safe direction if you're doing this at home. But these are different practice routines you can integrate without ever leaving your house. So to recap, shooting uphill, downhill shots, take your hips to the uphill side, gain a little bit more range of motion. Sit flat, kneel, sit on a bucket or a chair, stand uphill, downhill, and then integrate kneeling, downhill, uphill, internally rotate, externally rotate. All these types of shot scenarios are going to be at some point possibly valuable for you in the field. If nothing else, maybe on another maximum effective range challenge we got coming up here soon. So practice them, get ready for them, make yourself a better, well-rounded bow hunter. Even in a 3D or a field archery type of event, this is the type of practice that will carry you through and maybe pick up a few extra points as you can. So again, we're all about plan, prepare, execute, repeat, and this is all part of that process off season. So thanks for checking out this video. We're going to be bringing you weekly practice routines, tips videos. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll check you guys soon.